Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Love Not Fear. I'm Jack Cox, and as you can probably hear, we've been having a good laugh before we went live. I'm Jack Cox, author of Love Not Fear, and I'm with my gorgeous co-host, Annie Day, who's written 2 scrumptious books.
Orgasmic Health and Your Guide to Feeling Fabulous Fast.
Right, so we're going to be talking today about mental health, decluttering, and Feng Shui.
Yeah.
Which is really Annie's subject, and I'm just going to give a very brief introduction and let her take it away.
Ooh!
So how are mental health and decluttering actually connected, if at all? If you've ever been gripped with the sudden desire to deep clean your entire home, or maybe you're motivated and inspired to suddenly reorganize every cupboard in your house, you're actually not alone in feeling this way. Research suggests that a cleaning and decluttering, or a lack of cleaning and decluttering, can actually affect your mental health big time.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
For most of us, having a clean and organized home can help us feel in control. It can help us with our day-to-day routine because we know where everything is.
Yeah. My
saying is a place for everything and everything in its place.
Yes, indeed.
In my life, practically, it tends to be a place for everything and everything out of place.
I like a man who can break his own rules with such a plum, Jack. I think that's awesome.
And of course, there's the peace of mind that comes from having an aesthetically pleasing place to wake up every morning and return to at the end of a long day.
Oh, absolutely.
Decluttering helps our overall life focus. It's so much easier to focus on what we're doing if we're living and working in an uncluttered environment.
Absolutely, darling.
Clutter is so distracting. So why not start out every day with a neat and tidy home?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you won't have any distractions.
Yeah.
A lot of people do find cleaning and decluttering to be a very good way of managing stress and anxiety.
Me.
Yeah, you can come and clean and declutter my place.
Oh, come and declutter your space, Jack.
And then you can feel really...
I'm a very good declutterer, if such a thing is actually, I don't know, a word, a noun, whatever. I'll definitely come and declutter you.
That's a date. Many people, when faced with problems that they can't address at the time, or maybe they're just feeling generally overwhelmed, find that cleaning and decluttering helps them restore a sense of control over their lives.
Yes, sir.
The act of cleaning and decluttering itself, of course, is a physical act. Yeah. So depending on how much energy we put into it, we're actually getting a bit of a workout too, you know, and a release of endorphins, which makes us feel happy.
That's what I was going to say. I think that that's my greatest motivator. I never go to bed without doing the washing up, however bloody late it is. I always make sure I've done that. I always make sure I make my bed every day, because it just, it ends the day properly, emptying out your ice bowl from the day before. And then in the morning, I just think it really helps you to have got out of bed and have a tidy environment. But I'm sure I'm hooked on endorphins. So I do decluttering stuff most days, because it just makes me feel so much better and my head doesn't feel so chaotic, as you've said.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it, Annie, I must confess. I'm not very good at it. But
I'll come round and be your ruthless friend and help you to declutter. Well, not ruthless. No, that's not true. My youngest son said, I'm not ruthless, I'm just very thorough.
Right. Okay. Well, you can come and be my very thorough friend, and
Okay, I'll be a very thorough decluttering friend for you, Jack.
give me a kick up the arse.
I would never do such a thing. Never, never, never.
Metaphorically.
Okay.
Keeping things clean and tidy and avoiding clutter, particularly on the floor, is really important, particularly with older people. Annie Day and Jack Cox.
Older people, Mr. Cox. I have no idea what that infers.
And also for people with young kids, you know, you don't want.
Oh, bloody absolutely. Them Lego bricks that you stand on at 2 o'clock in the morning aren't fun.
Oh, they're not fun, are they? And
No,
we don't need any dumbles.
No, we've all been injured by bloody Lego bricks or standing on somebody's toy car or whatever.
And cleaning and decluttering produces tangible results that we can see and feel and gain satisfaction from.
Yeah.
I don't speak from experience, but I'm sure it's true.
Jack Cox, I feel you are doing yourself a disservice by saying you've never done it, because you must have done.
Right, it's the time of year for spring cleaning. We just had Imbolc, and it's the time of year for spring cleaning. It's a real phenomenon. Spring is the time of new life and new growth everywhere. During the winter months, with their shorter days, many of us were affected by lack of sunlight. What's it called? SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
So we need to take vitamin D3 with K2 every day.
Yeah, and
we don't live in a sunny country. So if we had continual sunshine, let's say in Indonesia or Bali or wherever, then we wouldn't have the same need to take vitamin D3. But because that isn't the case, and actually vitamin D3 with K2 is not really a vitamin, it's a steroidal hormone that's responsible for 1,000 different functions in our body. So bring it on. We want sunshine and vitamin D3 with K2.
That's my plan, is to move back somewhere sunny.
I think it's got to be done.
So with the colder weather, our energy is contracted and we live smaller lives. Now we're starting to feel a surge of new energy. The days are brighter and warmer, and we're getting out more.
Yes.
We're feeling more energized and more enthusiastic about cleaning and decluttering.
Indeedy.
We may also be drawn to consider how the energies are moving around our homes and workplaces.
Yeah. And the garden.
Are they able to circulate freely? This is where a study of Feng Shui can really help us, which Annie will be telling us about now. Over to you,
I'm
Annie.
delighted to do so. But I want to just backtrack a little bit, lovely Jack, because going back to 2015, when did I qualify? 2016. I was completing the dissertation for my master's degree, and a girl came round and went, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Dusting and hoovering." And I said, until I've done this, this is just running in the background going, you haven't done that, you haven't done the dusting, you haven't done the hoovering, you haven't put those things tidying away. Until I've done that, I cannot give my full focus to this dissertation, because it's literally running in the background going, you haven't done this, you haven't done this, you haven't done this. I said, as soon as I've completed this, I will be able to be really focused and really motivated. And that's exactly what I did. So you were saying earlier that it affects our mental health, and I know that that is the case.
Oh, yeah.
When I've lived in other people's spaces or I've lived in hotels, I don't feel as vibrant and joyful as I do in my own space, because, as you've said, everything in its place, a place for everything. So anybody who's been to my home and business practice and garden will know that there is nothing that is placed insignificantly. It might look random, but everything I put in my home and garden has got some meaning. And the times when I felt out of whack is when I've allowed stagnant energies to come in. So I haven't decluttered my wardrobe. Most people know I am the queen of the charity shop, so I regularly declutter my wardrobe. Anything I've not worn for a year, however much I thought, oh yeah, I'll definitely fit in that and I'll definitely wear it, I'll bag it up and I'll take it to my favourite charity shops.
Yeah.
And I know that as soon as I do that, the universe will go, oh, so you're getting rid of all that. How about we give you some more stuff? So again, I love to recycle and repurpose things, but I do think that, you know, the times that I felt the most stagnant is when I haven't cracked on and done that thing that I need to do. And let go of things, go of things that aren't good for us. So I'm very good at shredding. So I shred everything except last year's and this year's bank statements, because that's stuff that I really don't need. Or I have a little chimney and burn it. I don't want that old energy to be stagnating my beautiful fairy palace in my garden.
You don't need it, do you?
No, not at all, darling. So how to spring clean, that should have been, not how to spring. Boing, boing, boing. I could have got my rebounder out and showed you how to spring like a professional, but actually what I intended to say was how to spring clean like a professional. So I am a professional space clearer and Feng Shui practitioner. So what I would do, let's say I came to your house and you have 2 stories, I would always start at the top and work my way down. I just think that that's probably best. If you have no intention of clearing out your attic or your loft, then you need to put big pieces of cloth over the ceiling of, let's say, your bedroom, so that the negativity and the stagnation that's up there isn't going to bleed through to your bedroom, basically, because you don't want your relationship stagnating and you don't want to have interrupted sleep. So that's what I would do personally and professionally. So if you haven't got the time, let's say, or you haven't got the energy to clear your loft out, then it's like having your crown chakra full of rubbish, basically, you know, because what affects our living space is affecting us on a physical and emotional level. So if you can't clear your attic or loft space out, then put big swags of material up, because that will stop it from bleeding through. So shed what doesn't serve you, clear out your junk. You know, I have a reputation for, because I buy most of my stuff from charity shops, so it's easy to recycle it and repurpose it. I don't hang on to anything really. I just don't hang on to anything, because I've known in the past that all it does is keeps me stuck, and I have no intention of being stuck. I'm a butterfly queen. Butterflies can't be stuck. They have to be flying off and doing all scrumptious things.
Sounds good.
Curtain call. Remember to hoover or wash your curtains. Quite often when people say they've been spring cleaning, they've still got daddy long legs and moths and spiders attached to their heavy velvet curtains, let's say. So if you can't wash them, then give them a good hoover, so there's no past energy or negative energy attached to it. Deep clean, or give your carpets a deep clean at least twice a year. So I'm very fortunate that I have wooden floors. So basically a couple of times a year, when it's good weather, I'll hang my big mats over the washing line, and I've got a beater, which is very therapeutic to beat the carpets. There's something very therapeutic about doing your badminton on your carpet and getting rid of all the dust and all that negativity. Well, it works for me.
Who are you thinking of, Annie?
Oh, I don't know if I could tell you that, Mr. Fox. It's not you, by the way, just because I won't tell you.
Thank goodness for that.
But yeah, I just think there's something very therapeutic. And again, you said right at the beginning that it's a good way of us being active. And it really is. I don't know what it is. I think because I saw my grandma doing it, that there's something, you know, my ancestors have done this, beat the mats and let the energy out when they've been spring cleaning. So I do think there's an element of that as well, but it brings back a, I don't know, a nostalgic memory of beating the mats, basically. Well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Brighten up, polish, wash and shine up all your beautiful things. That's what I would say. So give them a good wash, dust them, polish them. I've got quite a lot of wooden things in my beautiful home, as you know. So I use Danish oil to make them really shiny. And also I love the smell of Danish oil as well. It's very scrummy and lovely. Turn over and freshen your bed. So I've got this very, very, very heavy bed. That is an orthopedic bed, I suppose you'll call it. And I usually ask the lovely Jane to come and help me to turn it over or turn it the bottom to the head or the head to the bottom, whichever way we like to. And then, you know, I'll put essentials on it and I'll leave it to air for the day. But, you know, if you can, change your bed linen once a week. If it's getting tired looking, go mad and buy yourself a new set with designs and images on that are fresh and vibrant. So I've just invested, of all places, it was Sainsbury's. I wasn't expecting to buy bedding in Sainsbury's. I went for a gluten-free and dairy-free cake for someone. And while I was there, I noticed that they had a sort of bargain basement thing. And so I've invested in a king size. It's got loads of dolphins swimming together in an ocean. And it came with 2 pillows and a bottom sheet and a king size quilt cover for 10 quid, Jack. What do you think of that? So I'd literally set my intention about 5 minutes before I went into Sainsbury's and thought, I'm going to go to the charity shop. I'm going to have a look around for some other bedding because there's some bedding that I'm just not feeling the love for and it needs to go, and I'll take it to the charity shop. And then, hey ho, when I went to buy this friend's gluten-free and dairy-free cake, there it was, dolphins jumping up and down in the water. So they've had to come home with me. They've had to come home with me. There's nothing else for it. The mermaids would have not been happy with me if I hadn't brought it home with me. So make sure that if you buy new bed linen or you buy new curtains, whatever it is, make sure that the designs and images on it are things that are fresh and vibrant and make you smile when you see them. You know, it's got to be something that makes you really happy. So I'm going to quote Dale Carnegie: people rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. So I do believe that if you're having fun with what you're doing, you're going to make a much better job of it, aren't you? So the idea of living a simple life with less stuff sounds attractive to many of us. Often people begin to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and defeated around the idea of owning less. I don't think you and I are like that, Jack, to be honest. I think we're the other way around to it.
Are we?
Well, I'll put my hands up. I think I am. Maybe you're not, but what I see of you, I would say that we're okay with letting go of stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Learning how to declutter your home and as a result decluttering your life doesn't need to be as painful as some make it out to be, and the benefits are numerous. The benefits of decluttering your life, I believe, are there are many benefits to owning fewer possessions. Even then, it's tough to move into action. That is, until the many benefits of getting rid of clutter reveal themselves. There is less to clean. I'm a great advocate to doing as little cleaning as I need to. I'm much better at doing other stuff, basically. I wasn't designed to be a cleaning lady.
No.
I was designed to be a fairy princess, I feel. I think I've been miscast as a cleaning lady.
Absolutely, Annie. Absolutely. If you could just wave your magic wand over it all.
I know, and just not do any cluttering, not do any cleaning. So, but having to clean things around you that you have zero emotional attachment to, or worse, you actively dislike, makes cleaning the house much more stressful. So again, I think that's why I declutter so often, Jack, because I just don't want any toxic or negative energy, and I don't want anything that reminds me of past relationships or any shenanigans from the past that doesn't make me feel happy and joyful. So there's less to organise once you've decluttered. Finding things suddenly becomes much easier when you've decluttered, because you've found, what did you say at the beginning, lovely Jack? A place for everything and everything in its place. You know, it's
That's
much
right,
easier. If you've got less of it, then it's much easier to find a home for it. Things will not just disappear anymore. You can actually move around your home and enjoy the space instead of moving around things that are in the way. And I know the worst time for me, when my memory goes off with the fairies and goes, right, Annie Day, you're on your own with this, is during the year, I'll start collecting things for people's birthday presents, people's Christmas presents, and then I'll put them in a safe place, never to be found again. You know, that safe place that can never be found.
Safe place, yes.
So I have learned over the years my dad gave me a book to read, and I can't think who the author is off the top of my head, but it was called Lessons from the Tool Room. And basically one of the strategies he said was that put the thing the first place you think of. Don't prevaricate, don't go, oh no, it might be better there. If you think it would be good in the wardrobe, put it in the wardrobe straight away, because your mind will remember that. The other thing that I learned many moons ago, learning psychology, was the theory of Locke. So if you want to remember where you've put this, I don't know, your passport, your driving license, something like that, the more significant and funny you can make it, the better. So for instance, if I want to remember that I've always put my car keys on top of the freezer, if I think about the giraffe holding my keys with its legs crossed on top of my freezer, I'll always be able to go and find where my keys are.
That's brilliant, yes.
So the more unusual, the more hilarious it is, the more likelihood there is that we will remember where we put things, which I don't know about you, but I'm way too busy to be arsing about trying to remember where I've put everything. It's got to be that, you know, I've put it the first place I thought of, or I've done the theory of Locke, where you literally imagine a funny scenario with your important little things.
Yeah.
So less stress, looking around at the clutter, or even the clutter. It's been a long day since 4:30 this morning, is all I can tell you.
What on earth were you doing up at 4:30?
All sorts of monkey business woke me up last night. But anyway, I think that looking around at the clutter is actually really stressful. Like I say, it's running in the background all the time. And I know that it is really lovely for me to look around and see a home and a business that I love. So literally every wall has got something, either an uplifting quote on or an uplifting picture or something like that. And when it fails to float my boat anymore, then I just either take it to the charity shop, give it to somebody else, or I just get rid of it. If it's not making my heart sing, it doesn't deserve to be in my home and my business. Less debt. By spending less time shopping for material possessions, And adding to the clutter means your wallet and your bank account remains fuller and your home doesn't get filled up with costly things that you do not need.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that we do that, Jack. I've got a feeling we don't.
I don't do that, no. I mean, I only buy things I actually need for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
I don't go out looking for things to buy. I go out looking for things not to buy.
Yeah. Although I did go to the charity shop before I went to Barmouth this Saturday, and the lady in the charity shop went, "Any day, we've got unicorns. We've got unicorns. You could hang them on the tree." I was like, Nicola, I wasn't supposed to be buying anything today, but yes, let me have a look at the unicorns. So yeah, I can be lured into buying unicorns or angels or hearts and stuff like that. But in the main, I don't buy anything that I don't really, I don't really yearn for. More financial freedoms. Many households sadly live paycheck to paycheck. 59%, according to a recent survey done by Charles Schwab back in May 2019. Nearly half of those surveyed carried credit card debt from one year into another and never got any freedom. Decluttering paired with minimalism will help you build up your savings to keep you protected in case of unexpected emergencies. By decluttering, you'll have more energy for your greatest passions. With less debt, more financial freedom, and a clean, clear home, you will be able to focus your energy on the things that you love and enjoy. Yay!
That sounds like a plan.
It does, darling, doesn't it? And this will ultimately make you feel happier. So now you know the benefits of decluttering your life, you may be getting tripped up by the very next question. So where do I begin? Baby steps are always best for any what seems like a mammoth project that looks like a gargantuan project. Start with one step, do little baby steps straight away. So if you're struggling and need guidance on how to declutter, you'll need to be creative with your plans. Here are several interesting decluttering tips to get you started on decluttering your home and business. If you're new to this, start with 5 minutes at a time. If you're new to decluttering, you can slowly build momentum with just 5 minutes a day. Fill an entire rubbish bag. Get your black bin liner and fill it as fast as you can with things that you can donate to charity shops. So again, those size 10 jeans that I'm never going to fit in shouldn't be in my wardrobe. And they wouldn't be there in the first place, really, because I don't think I've been a size 10 since I was about 12. So, but, those things that we hang on to that we really don't need. And also, over the last 7 years, if there is any negative association with a particular dress or a particular blouse, that I've worn it with someone and then something horrible's happened, I'll get rid of that, because there isn't actually anything wrong with the clothing per se. It's just that it's got a negative attachment for me. But once I've washed it and taken it to the charity shop, somebody else will get use out of it, basically.
It's just the memories attached to it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's best for me if I'm not seeing that anymore.
Absolutely, yeah.
Donate clothes that you never wear. I've done this in the past. I've thought, oh yeah, I'll definitely wear that skirt and I'll look really scrummy in it. And then I've found that I haven't touched it for a year. And then it'll go back to the charity shop or go to a different charity shop. View your home as a first-time visitor. So literally go outside, come in whatever you consider to be your front door, and then just look at your home space as if you were seeing it for the first time. It's easy to forget what your home looks like to a new visitor. Enter your home as if you're visiting the home of a good friend. And, say, oh, yeah, that I really like that picture, or I really like that, I don't know, wind chime or whatever. But anything that isn't resonating with you or has, negative vibrations attached to it for whatever reason needs to go. needs to go to the charity shop, well, they'll repurpose it to somebody else. So one of the things I've done in the past, I am able to do all my decluttering and feng shui on my own now. But in the past, when I lived in Penkridge, I used to get a friend to come and help me declutter my bookshelves and my videos and my DVDs and my, I don't know, knickknacks and stuff. And because Jill was with me, it made me more objective rather than just hanging on to it for the sake of it. And as much as I hate to part with any books, if I'm meant to have them, they'll come back to me, basically. Use the 3-box method. So this has worked for me for such a long time. Get 3 boxes and label them rubbish, giveaway, or charity shop. Now, I know that I have things, let's say, for birthday presents and Christmas presents that, let's say, I have this fictitious Aunt Mabel who buys me, for instance, a briefcase. You know, Jack, Andrew knows that I would be the last person on the planet that would ever need a briefcase. It would not be, if you had to think of an Annie Day present, you would not go, oh yeah, do you know what she needs? A briefcase. So things like that, or very strong perfumes, or I don't know, stuff that I am never going to use, but is still really good. I will either think of a person that would love that briefcase or love that perfume and give it to them, so that it's being used up, basically. Anything that isn't good enough for the charity shops, I will just at Tesco's or the back of Tesco's, they've got that big clothing bank, haven't they, Jack? The things that aren't good enough for, they're not good enough for the charity shop, and you can put shoes in and bedding and all sorts of stuff. So I'll take it to that because I'd want to put as little in the landfill as possible. So no matter which decluttering tip you choose to get started, whether it be one of these or one of the other countless others, the goal is to take your first baby step in decluttering your life with excitement behind it. So be thinking, when I've done this, I'm going to have so much more energy, so much more joy, so much more fun and joy and laughter. And that will give you the impetus to crack on with it. So I am a professional declutterer, so I've usually done it for businesses. I've gone from the top to the bottom of a business and I've said, what do you use that for? Oh, we never use that. And got people to, you know, written them a statement of what they need to change to space clear properly. And what it's done is, so Gailey Pottery asked me to come in and do some feng shui and space clearing for them because their business was nosediving. This was prior to the scamdemic. And I went in and did space clearing, wrote them a full report on what they needed to get rid of or find another home for, and then what they needed to add to make sure that there was really positive energy, which was their prosperity and abundance corner, which was their love corner, etc., etc. And what they discovered that within less than 6 months, their prosperity and abundance, and they were getting new energy and new business coming in. But you can't get that to come in if you're going to hold on to the past, basically. So feng shui tips. Feng shui teaches us how to achieve harmony within our environment. The words feng shui are Chinese and translate to wind and water. Wind is our breath, so it's obviously very important. And humans are almost 80% water. So we know that wind and water are vital elements for life. Historically, feng shui has its roots in Taoism and Buddhism. However, elements of it are palpable in every culture across time. For instance, these days, we can all feel the difference between a town apartment and a quiet hidden cabin in the forest.
Oh,
and we understand, yeah, I know. How lovely would that be? I like the sound of that, don't you, Jack?
That definitely sounds like a plan.
It does, doesn't it, darling? And we understand that our surroundings greatly affect our mental health and our overall energy. So tips to create good feng shui at home. Keep the path to your front door clean and clear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of easy enough to do, isn't it, for most of us?
Yeah.
Clear the clutter in all the rooms to let the energy flow.
Yeah.
Slow down the flow of energy. So some of the things we might want to do when we feel that the energy is too fast in parts of our houses, to either have yellow curtains or to paint the walls yellow. So that colour behind you, Jack, slows things down nicely. Well done, Jack. Well done. So my treatment room has got, I can't remember what the yellow is called now, something like warm yellow. So it's a shade of yellow that's a bit, what shall I say, more yellowy than magnolia perhaps, but it slows that energy down so that it brings in that element of peace and calm, as if I wasn't going to do that anyway. So the surroundings, you know, having that pale yellow can really slow the energy down. White makes it too fast. We don't want that. So I'll say something about light bulbs. We're best with warm yellow light bulbs. That blue light isn't good for us.
No, it's
and
not.
Energy saving bulbs, I could spend a whole night talking about EMFs and 5G and all the rest, and I'm not going to do that tonight. But what I would say is get rid of your energy saving bulbs. They're not good for you at all. So I've found a electrical wholesalers who's got me some old-fashioned bulbs. If you can't get those, get LED, but get rid of the energy saving bulbs. They're the equivalent of fluorescent tubes, but made into a littler thing. And as we know, that's really bad for us. So get rid of the energy saving bulbs. Quite often we've talked about that in the past. If the government's telling you to do it, run the opposite direction. So as soon as they introduced energy saving bulbs and then they're telling us we could have them free, I was like, shit, I need to get some other kind of bulbs. And then I went to see a Chinese doctor and he told me that I have an acute allergy to energy saving bulbs, which is why at Heaven Sent Bliss we've got warm yellow old-fashioned bulbs, bayonet bulbs. I can't remember what they're called. I bet Andrew knows. I bet Andrew knows what the old-fashioned bulbs are called, but anyway.
I think they're just called light. Anything else, yeah.
Here are some things that you can do to avoid when you're creating a feng shui bedroom. So you either want to be making love in your bedroom or you want to be able to sleep easily, or both, clearly. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? Whatever you do in your bedroom, don't have mirrors in your bedroom. I've slept in somebody's bedroom where they've got, what are they called? Some mirrored wardrobe doors. And I said, can you cover those up? And they were like, no, not really. What I would suggest, if you have got those mirrored wardrobe doors that were very fashionable. Oh, Gillian Cooper, admit. So if you have got those mirrored...
Hello, Gillian.
Hi, Gillian.
Welcome.
Oh, she's connecting to audio now, it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says.
Oh, but glad you're here. Glad you can make it, yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got mirrored wardrobe doors, cover them with pretty sticky black plastic. So that's what I've suggested to my friend. Now, there's several reasons why I've suggested that he do that. We release negative energy from our feet whilst we are sleeping. So if you've got mirrors at the bottom of your bed, what would a mirror do? What would you think a mirror would do? It would reflect back that negativity. You don't want to be absorbing those toxins that your feet have released, basically. So that's what I suggested, that you have, I don't know, a forest, sticky back plastic. You know the stuff I mean. I think it's called film, sticky film or something like that. But basically put that over the mirrors. So some people have mirrors that stand up on a stand. What I've done with that when I've been doing professional space clearing is to put a towel or a curtain or something over it so that it's covered up until you actually need to use it. If you imagine that all mirrored surfaces are eyes and that they are mirrors and will reflect back, that's why you shouldn't have it in your bedroom, basically, because we will be releasing toxins in our sleep and we don't want to be reabsorbing them, basically.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you. So as we release negativity during our sleep through the soles of our feet, this will be reflected back to you. So it's worth knowing what you can and can't do in your bedroom. Avoid placing your bed under ceiling features, especially those big black beams, you know, for, I don't know, Tudor style houses where they've got big black beams. That's not good for you at all because it's literally interrupting your energy, but it could be that it's cutting you in half as well energetically. And you know those big ceiling fans, Jack, that sometimes people have that are kind of like air con? It's not good for your bed to be under that. So it's okay for it to be obliquely away from your bed, but you shouldn't have it over the top of you, basically. It's not good energy. Get rid of all clutter out your bedroom. I know lots of people who have a permanent wardrobe, and if that works for you, that's fine. But for me, it's not good for me to have a wardrobe because it will irritate and agitate me. It mean I probably won't sleep very well. So get rid of all the clutter. Hang your clothes up, put them in the washing machine, do what... Oh, Gillian Cooper entered the waiting room, admit. Thought she was already in. I don't know, but she's in again now. So yeah, make sure you get rid of the clutter, hang your clothes up. If they need washing, put them in the washing machine. I've got friends who've got teenage kids and they have a permanent wardrobe. And I'm really sure that that's what's adding to their agitation as well. So getting them to put things in the laundry basket when your underwear's finished with, get it in the laundry basket out of your room, basically. Remove pictures of water or water features from your bedrooms, as these may cause you to feel emotionally overwhelmed and more tearful. So if you've got, as lovely as waterfalls and stuff like that is, make sure that there's not pictures of water on your wall, waterfalls, rivers, whatever, because it will make you feel even more, because water's a female element and it is all about releasing emotions, basically. So you don't want to feel emotionally overwhelmed and more tearful than you need to be. Only use plants in your bedroom. I've heard of lots of people saying, oh, they always have flowers in the bedroom. No, it's not big and it's not clever. Flowers aren't good for us, but plants are. We need oxygen, not CO2, basically. So if you want, I understand why people want beautiful flowers, but if you want beautiful flowers in your bedroom, make sure it's a beautiful plant. I've got a fern in my bedroom and I've got some kind of lily in there as well, but again, I'm making sure that they're not they're not flowers, they're just the plants, basically. Avoid storing books in your bedroom. Again, I've got another friend and I occasionally stay at her house and she's got a great big pile of books at the side of her bed. I've had to make myself not do that. I am also a person that can read 3 books at a time, but I will only leave 1 book in my bedroom at a time and I'll leave it on the other side of the room, because sometimes reading a book will help us go to sleep, won't it? Rather than having an excess of blue screen, looking at our tablets, iPads, phones, blah, 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 blah. It's not good for us. It will keep us awake because that blue light goes bing to your brain. It's kind of like adding a yellow highlighter to your brain. So say goodbye to electronics. Use a clockwork or battery operated alarm clock. Leave your phone on silent in another room. That's what I do. I will admit that I am very sensitive. My youngest son is in Dubai and he's not been too good. So he sent me a text at about 4:30 this morning. And although my phone was on silent in the kitchen, which is 2 rooms away from my bedroom, I woke up and went, beep, and didn't know why I'd woken up, made myself a drink, and then saw that there was a message from my lovely younger son. So I do know that if I needed to be awake for some kind of emergency, we would wake up anyway. So what I would suspect is you don't need your phone. Lots of people, sadly, use their phones as an alarm clock. I wouldn't do it, honestly. And I'll give a shout out as well to the lovely Andy Kemp, who has a company called Quantum K, which is short for Quantum Kinesiology. I'll just get my phone and then I can show you. Oh, there it is. Because I was phoning Jack to see why my Zoom wasn't bloody working. So on the back there, you can probably see a copper rectangle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's called a resonator. And if you go on to www.quantumk, you will see tools and you'll see packs of resonators. I don't currently have one, but he sells packs of resonators. And what you do is you put it on your electrical devices and it blocks EMF fields so that they don't have a negative impact off you. That was a message from Gillian. I'll just look what it says, shall I, Jack?
Yes, please, yeah.
Keep only smooth crystals in your bedroom. The raw, jagged reflect negative energy. Use grounding sheets of copper. Yeah, turn all the Wi-Fi off. Yeah, spot on. I haven't got any crystals in my bedroom because I used to have a piece of selenite that was a wand, but even that I don't put in my bedroom now. I just let my body go. So
I do. I have them under my pillow.
Oh, yeah, you're the Moldavite king, aren't you?
Yeah, I have a bag of crystals under my pillow. Yeah.
No, I don't. I find that they, well, what would I say? I would have tumble stones in the past, but I just don't use any crystals now because I found that I'm just much better allowing myself to just, you know, stick to my own self, basically.
But just going back to phones, I always put mine on aeroplane mode at night.
Oh, right. Well, what I recommend to all my patients and students and friends and families, take it out your bedroom. You really don't want it in your bedroom, because even when it's on airplane mode, you're still getting, what shall I say? You would still be getting some energy from it that we really could do without.
Yeah.
So leave your phone on silent in another room. Go on. What did you say?
I don't know whether it's true. I can't quote sources, but I've been told that it's best to put your phone on airplane mode and then turn it off. Don't just turn it off, but put it on airplane mode and then turn it off.
Oh, okay. I just turn mine off and leave it in the kitchen, so it's miles away from me. But I do know, like last night, that if I need to know something, then the universe will go, hey, Annie Day, you best get up now. So yeah, avoid using mirrors. These are like eyes reflecting back what they see. We release toxins during our sleep. So the last thing we need is that. One of the most effective and fundamental principles in Feng Shui is called the commanding position. And it basically means that certain objects should be facing your entry door. The main door to the room or space is called the mouth of Qi. So the mouth of energy. Woohoo! And it's thought to be the portal through which energy comes into your home and your life. When you are cooking at the stove or sleeping in bed or sitting at the desk in your office, it's best if you can see the door, but not be directly in line with it. It's best to be diagonal from the door while still facing it. And, you know, sometimes, Jack, this isn't going to be doable.
No.
In your place, this is probably not doable, is it? But
No.
understandably, this is not always possible. So you can make adjustments like adding a bagua wheel or a picture of a natural scene. So I think that, no, I know that intention is everything. So if we say that I'm putting everything as close as possible to the best way possible. Oh, hold on. Let me just see what it says. Absolutely correct to cover your screens. Don't have, oops, it's gone. Let me get it back. Absolutely correct to cover screens. Don't have your headboard in the loo, and definitely close the bedroom door. Have a dream catcher. Yes, perfect. Spot on.
Good one, Gillian.
Where do we get to? I think that, no, I know that our intention is everything. So if we think that we're doing the best we can to have a calm, peaceful, joyful home and business, that's what the universe will give us. It will go, well, Annie Day's doing the best she can, and that's the best she can do with the hand of cards she's been dealt. Same with you, Jack. If you could have it beautifully decluttered and feng shuied and scrummy, that's what you'd be doing. So we just have to work with the best of the hand of cards we're giving.
Yeah, work with what you got.
That's the one, darling. So what is feng shui? We've already said it's wind and water. It is a traditional Chinese worldview regarding the art of spatial alignment and orientation and the relationship between humans and their environment. Feng Shui is known to be associated with health, good luck, and prosperity. So placing your bed, desk, and stove in the command position basically means that objects should be facing your entry door where you can. Pay attention to your entryway. Sounds very rude. Manifestations, say them Palo Santo. I was discussing Chinese wisdom today. Yeah. I have both. I have Palo Santo and I have sage, and I also have, one of my favorites is Nag Champa. So your entry and front door represent the way you face the outside world. It's how the world will see you, like the very first impression. So be sure to keep the area clean and clutter-free. This does not mean the entry must be completely empty. Rather, it's about keeping only what you need to be there. The interior and exterior entry should also be well lit. Get some bright yellow white bulbs, and the door number should be clean, hung straight and easily visible. Auspicious opportunities need clear signage to find you. In addition, I often recommend putting down a pretty rectangular welcome mat to attract good energy. So currently I've got protected by fairies and a picture of fairies on my doormat. But also, as Jack knows, I've also got loads of solar powered fairy lights all the way along the fence from when you first seen it.
What's that say? Synchronicity.
I'll just finish my sentence and then I'll read it.
All right.
So what I was going to say was I've got solar powered fairy lights that go from the front garden right the way past the front door and all the way round in the back garden. And I think that gives a really positive energy. So we'll read what this says. Loads of Nag Champa. Synchronicity, Mr. Cox. Only Himalayan lamps in my home, no shoes. Does that mean something to you?
Doesn't, to be honest, but
I've only got Himalayan lamps in my home.
I'm sure Gillian will elaborate.
So loads of Nag Champa, synchronicity, Mr. Cox, only Himalayan lamps in my home and no shoes. I don't know. I don't know. Right, so we were talking about the front door. So again, solar powered fairy lights are very good for bringing in that positive energy. Quite often they have mode on it, so it means that you can have them flashing, you can have them on constantly, or you can have them running round. But again, it's very joyful, positive energy, and it will beautifully illuminate your lovely home. One of the things you can do, I think this is quite sweet, and I've done it in the past, is your front door is literally and metaphorically where energy enters your home, and it can be an incredible auspicious area. To activate its positive energy, wait until an auspicious day like your birthday. But any other day, you know, it could be the winter solstice, the summer solstice, in bulk, whatever occurs to you that would be really lovely. And then what you do is you write, for instance, a wish list with 9 wishes on, because in Taoism and Tantra, 9 is a very auspicious number. You know, it's said to bring in prosperity and abundance. It's said to stimulate our healing energy as well. So you think of 9 wishes that you wish for yourself. You read your list out loud, and then with respect, you mindfully sign the list. Carefully fold that list up, put it in an envelope, and then I've got mine just above the doorway, because I really think that I'm setting my intention that I am having those 9 good wishes of things that I really want. So securely position your intentions and aspirations above whatever you consider to be your front door on the inside of your home. Now, every time you walk through your front door, you are invoking the energy of these wishes, so they will manifest in your life. What do you think of those, Jackpot?
That's a brilliant idea. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. There's another comment from Gillian.
Shoes bringing negative energy, all you've walked through. Yeah, she's talking about scattering salt in all the corners.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you can scatter salt in all the corners. You can use tinctures, temple bells, singing bowl, clapping in every corner. That will release any stagnant energy. You can be using your Nag Champa or your sage or your Palo Santo or whatever you fancy. And the other thing that I do as well is I sing to all the corners, even if it's just into each of the corners, because it will clear that out. In my treatment room, I have a gong. So after every treatment, I bang my gong 3 times and just ask for the negative energy to be released. I open the French windows and just release anything that doesn't belong there. So the next patient in or the next student in has completely clear energy.
Yeah. Going back to what Gillian was saying about the salt, I think that's very important. I mean, I use salt a lot.
Me too.
I put it in my bath.
Yeah.
If I've had an unfortunate interaction with somebody,
yeah,
I'll put salt on the palm of my hand and rub my hands together.
Yeah.
And let the salt
To
fall
release
to the
it.
ground.
Yeah.
And take all, just visualize all the negativity going with it.
Oh, absolutely. And particularly with a salt bath, it's a really good way of just helping your body to detoxify emotionally. And what I do at, I suppose at least once a month, I'm not happy with the moon phases, so I'd rather do it in line with when Venus is full. So I'll talk about that to you at another time when we're on our own. But I think it's the moon matrix and the Venus deception is something worth looking at YouTube. But one of the things that I do is I put salt all outside the front door, outside the back door, and then in all the corners, every single corner of the place, and any doorways in the house, just so it releases any negative energy that's still hanging about or any stagnation. So the use of colour. Those of you who've been to Heaven Sent Bliss will know I am A great lover of magenta and turquoise.
You are.
Indeedy. And lots of other people have become great advocates of using turquoise and magenta once I've said why I use it. So the use of colouring Feng Shui relates to the 5 elements of earth: metal, water, wood and fire. The 5 elements are found in nature and are used to bring in energy to create balance. So if there's an elemental energy that you require a bit more of, you can add that colour to your space with paint, accessories, towels, cushions or clothing. Earth element: if you're lacking self-care and stability, add more of the earth element. The colours for earth include earthy tones of yellow, orange and brown. So basically the colours that we'd expect the soil to be and our beautiful earth. A dark brown wood headboard can be used to ground your relationship to. So that might be a good idea. Or there's always paint. There's always paint. Metal element. The metal elements: greys, whites, off-whites, cream and metallic tones can provide more clarity and precision, and a silver metal frame for your vision board can help direct and expedite your goals. Water element: if you'd like to invite more flow or wisdom into your spaces, accents of black call upon the element of water. Try sitting in a black, turquoise or dark blue chair when you wish to study.
Gillian just said something about firecrackers. I didn't quite catch it.
Oh, bloody hell. Chinese use the firecrackers to break up energy, clapping all the corners of the home prior to saging. The moon is not your friend. Thank you. A little awful, but your own urine is a massive protection. I'm not advocating you pee in public.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Well,
Gillian.
Gillian, I'm really glad that you're not advising us to pee in public, because I don't think that Mr. Cox would have been very happy at that. But no, the moon is not your friend. The moon is not your friend, darling. But yeah, there's a lovely video by a lady on YouTube called The Moon Matrix and the Venus Deception with Ola Volney, which, if you didn't know already, I've known this since 2006 when I went to a sacred geometry course in Glastonbury. But I've known since then that the moon is not your friend at all. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Wood element, wood energy. We like wood energy, don't we, Jack Cox?
We do. We love trees.
We do. We so do.
We did a wonderful show a couple of weeks ago about trees.
We did connecting with remarkable trees, didn't we? Wood energy can help to kickstart new beginnings, new starts, and bring life energy into a space. And teal or turquoise pillows on your sofa can bring life to the party when you entertain. Well, as you know, what colour's my sofa? What colour's all the cushions? Almost like I know what I'm up to.
Well, you never know.
You just never know. I might know what I'm up to. Really,
might have a clue there somewhere.
And the fire element. We love fires as well. I had a little chimney party when I came back from Barmouth on Saturday night, and I can't tell you how much better I felt. I've got giant pine cones that smelt of pine resin. You know when we went to Hailing Dean, Jack?
Yeah, we collected the pine
Some
cones.
of those giant pine cones, aren't they? They're enormous. And it really, it just made me feel so happy. And we found some driftwood and all sorts of things. Anyway, that was scrummy. So fire element, finally, the red colour of fire energy is magnetizing and can illuminate you when you need more passion or recognition. My favourite ways to bring in fire energy is with red plants and magenta throws and towels. So they're all over the bathroom, they're all over the treatment room, they're in the hallway, and all my plants are doing really well Possibly because I talk to them all the time. So if
That
they
does
want to be
help.
moved, or they want to have, I don't know, more sunlight, they want to be moved to a different spot, then they tell me. If they need watering, I think they quite often tell me, because I'll suddenly be halfway through a treatment and go, I need to go and water that one in the hallway or whatever. Now, there's no way that I was consciously thinking about my plants, so I'm fairly sure that it is that they're telepathically communicating and go, hey, any day, I need some water. Come give me some water.
I used to find that very much with my garden.
Yeah.
Garden I had many decades ago now. But I could just sit there and it would tell me what it wanted me to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really obvious, Jack, isn't it? You know, they would want us to be able to be the guardians of them, basically. And if they communicate openly with us, then there's more chance that we can do whatever it is that they need, basically. So, blocked doors. As previously mentioned, doors are super important in Feng Shui as they are portals for energy. Take a close look at each door in your home to see if there is any that cannot open a minimum of 90 degrees due to surrounding clutter or furniture. So again, when I've done Feng Shui and space clearing for businesses as well as private homes, sometimes what is blocking energy is they've got a chair, but you can't open the door because that particular, I don't know, Lloyd loom chair is there, or there's a cupboard or a cabinet or a something, and literally by just moving it so the door can open fully can really change the energy as well.
Yeah, I think I'm very guilty of that. I need to fix that.
I need to come round and help you.
Yeah, well, you always wanted to come out and help me. Help me clean and tidy.
I could do that, Jack Cox. Of course I can.
Right,
I've only wooden furniture. Metal, especially bed frames, are conductors of EMF and electricity. Yeah, my bed's wooden as well. I've got nothing. I've got very few metal things, other than the bottom of this chair. I've got it's got wheels on. It's got metal wheels on. But if it didn't, I wouldn't be able to whiz round and make myself very dizzy and then sit still and go, whoa. And I've so I might have told you this before, but when I was writing my first and second book, people asked me what I did to reward myself after writing for, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever. And I thought, sod it, I'm just going to tell them. So I said, what I do is I've got this whizzy round chair and I'll whiz round really, really fast and then go, whoa, it makes me really dizzy. And that's my reward. And all these very posh people looked at me and went, and then they laughed eventually. They said, what do you really do? I said, I whiz myself around really fast and then I sit still, and that's my reward. And as it's got me through writing 2 books, I'm going to just say thank you to this child's IKEA office chair, I think is what his official title is. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to whiz around to make myself dizzy, and that was my reward system.
I've often thought if we could be more childlike.
Oh, I'd be so much better. I'm sure that's why I'm always so happy, is that my inner 6-year-old's in charge of driving the bus most of the time.
Yeah, I watch children play, and I just think, you know, we haven't grown up. We've lost something.
Yeah.
And we've growing up, becoming mature, is a reaction to all the hurts that life has given us.
Yeah.
If we could get back to that purity.
Yeah, and that innocence.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right, Jack. No, I'm sure we are. If we can hold on to that childlike enchantment and joy, that's got to be better for it, hasn't it? It really has got to be so much better for us. Where do we get to? So when doors cannot open, it means that the positive energy coming into your life is being compressed or blocked, and your full potential is not available to you. It also affects how you experience your life path literally and metaphorically, and can leave you cramped and pinched rather than expansive and spacious. Finally, doors also represent your voice to the world. So a blocked door can mean that your voice cannot fully be heard or communicated. What do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think that's the case.
I do, yeah.
I really, really do. Yeah, I do think that's the case. Remove broken objects. We've all been guilty of this, either now or in the past, where something's broken and we've gone, oh, I'm going to fix that next week, next month, next blah, 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 blah. And inevitably, we then move it to a shed, a garage. I've even known people put them up in the lofts.
Yeah.
If you're not going to fix it within a week, get rid of it, because you sure as heck will not do it after that time. If you can't fix this within a week, you're never going to do it. So all you're doing is hanging on to that brokenness. And unless you're going to do that, what's the Japanese art called, Jack? Is it?
I know what you mean. I don't know what it's called.
Mitsugi or not Mitsugi, something like that.
They mend the broken vases, don't they? With
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So unless you're going to do whatever that word is, kintsugi, mitsugi, whatever it is, where you put gold on to elaborate the scar of that wound or the crack or whatever, unless you're going to do that, get rid of it if you haven't fixed it within a week. That broken doorbell that you keep meaning to repair may be blocking you from receiving a visit from something or someone amazing. Dead or dying plants have got to go. They have no room in Feng Shui. My plants very rarely die. Very rarely die.
Mine only died once. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
I was waiting for you to launch into "You only live twice," or so they say, and all the rest of it. But anyway, so yeah, dead or dying plants need to go, basically. So put them in your compost if you want to make sure that their life force is recycled or whatever. Minimize your closet. Many of us have that idea that we'll fit into it someday. No, you won't. No, you won't. And if it doesn't shout at you, if you don't feel like a sex god or a sex goddess, or you don't feel happy and I don't know, you don't feel happy and positive in those clothes, whatever past attachments they have, get rid of them, take them to charity shop. They will be delighted to be having so many clothes that they can repurpose and resell. And by letting go of the clothing that we don't need will give our brains a clue also to let go of other unnecessary things, harmful people, or unnecessary stress. Oh, hold on. Oops. Remember EMWHDN's sun was yellow? We spent whole days in the woods making dens, riding wild horses, Bowie on transistor radio, life on Mars. Yes, gifting declutter is very, very cathartic. I was just talking about little black dresses today. Fabulous. When we have a full closet, we give the universe the message that our lives are complete and we don't need anything else. I don't want to be saying that to the universe. I want to go, come on, give me some more vibrant, happy, joyful energy. It's astounding what clearing a little bit of space in your closet can do to invite magic into your life. Dusty objects or areas. If there are areas or objects in your home that are collecting dust, it may symbolize areas of your life that are stagnant and are to be ignored. That isn't what we want, is it? We want everything to be really vibrant and happy and joyful. If you don't need that object, maybe it's time to donate it. It can be as simple as taking the time to move things around to stir up some positive, vibrant energy. Avoid letting your windows get too dirty. In Feng Shui, windows represent the eyes of the inhabitants in the home. When we have dirty windows, we can't see the world around us clearly and can get caught up in our perceptions. Take some time to clean your windows regularly and then see how much light and joy comes into your life. Avoid storing things under your bed. I know so many people. I understand that people want to minimize their space. So I do know lots of people have been saying what's happening to our relationship. And I've said, have you got anything right above your bed? And they've said, no, we haven't got anything there. Have you got anything under your bed? Oh yeah, we store all last year's clothes.
Yeah.
That's not good for your relationship. You don't want old past stuff. So find another space to store your, I don't know, your holiday clothes or your, I don't know, your blankets and things like that, but isn't underneath your bed, because you want clear energy underneath your bed so that your relationship is vibrant and joyful and it's moving positively. What was I going to say? If you don't need that object, maybe it's time to donate it. It can be as simple as taking the time to move things around to stir up some joyful, positive energy. Other items to watch out for are shoes, books, or anything associated with being very active. If you have mementos from past relationships stored underneath your bed, oh, love letters, let them go. Move them out of your bedroom. You do not want that to be blocking your future happiness, which is what will be happening. Yeah. And it may mean that that past relationship is holding you back.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I would even go as far as to say get rid of any old wedding rings and things that are no longer relevant.
Absolutely. I took mine to when I first left nearly 8 years ago. I took it to a gold and silver thing. Yeah, chuck it in the foot bucket, Gillian says.
The bucket bucket. We chuck it in the bucket bucket.
Indeed. So brilliant. I took it to this shop that was buying gold rings. It was 24 carat gold wedding ring. And I took it and I got £75 for it. And I bought something for my new home that I knew I was going to be moving into in a year's time. And it started off my, because I had to do it secretively for 12 months, it literally, I bought with that £75 something lovely for my future home. So it was literally using the past to springboard me. And every day I would say, I'm stepping into my bright light future. Even if I couldn't see the evidence of that. And even though I knew it was 12 months before I could actually physically leave, but even so. So if you wanted to know more about it, so I think the most important areas for us from a Feng Shui perspective is whatever you consider to be your front door. I know some people have side doors that are their front doors, if you see what I mean. And some people have entrances where it's sort of the back of the property that is the front door. So whichever door you consider to be your front door, your love corner is in your farthest right hand corner.
Okay.
Your prosperity and abundance corner is in your far left hand corner, with whatever you consider to be your front door. So in your love corner, to encourage love, romance, sex, vibrant, happy relationships, you need lots of couples. You need little statues of swans, dolphin, couples, any pink crystals, but especially rose quartz that are heart-shaped. Clearly that's going to be scrummy and lovely. And then anything that says love on it. Do you believe if a crystal necklace breaks, you don't need it anymore? It's done its job. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do believe that completely. But it's time for it to go. So what Jack knows, and Andrew probably knows as well, that there are lots of pots of plants in my garden that have got broken crystals in, or crystals that have that are no longer serving me. So they're doing the plant good, but they don't need to be in my home environment, basically. So what else could you put in your love corner? So anything pink, any pink crystals, but especially rose quartz, as we know. Any green crystals represent love, because in the East, green is said to be the color of love, and it's about growth and nature as well, whereas the European system says pink. So any pink crystals, but especially rose quartz. And, you know, one of the things that rose quartz does beautifully is it helps us to love ourselves. And as we know, if you don't love yourself, you can't allow someone else to love you.
That's true. That's very true.
So prosperity and abundance is the far left-hand corner from wherever you consider to be your front door. So some of the things that you might want to put in there is a money plant. So just to show you what a money plant is. And also it's in a pot with hearts on as well. Yeah. Because what I want to tell it is that I really love prosperity and abundance, because if I have lots of prosperity and abundance, I will be able to still help people next year and the year afterwards and the year after that.
That's right. Yeah.
So the other thing, Crystal, that we're both fond of, Jack, is citrine, isn't it? What citrine does is it helps us to manifest prosperity and abundance, but also to hold on to our wealth and to help others as well. So one of the things that I've known for some time is the more I allow prosperity and abundance to come into my life, the more I can help other people. So I've got a three-legged toad in my prosperity and abundance corner that a friend bought me. I've got another money plant. I've got a big piece of citrine, that huge piece, but I've got gold, chocolate, coins that I had at Christmas time that I've put in because it represents wealth. And I've got the happy Buddhas, you know, the ones with the big tummies. So I've got loads of those in there as well. And I've got when I qualified as an NLP practitioner, my teacher gave me £1 million note. I don't know where he got it from, but anyway, it was this £1 million note, and that's in my prosperity corner, just reminding me. Another friend gave me a flying pig, so that's in my prosperity corner to remind me that anything is possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to have one taped over my bed at one time.
Did you?
Yeah, in
my lush.
Yeah.
So if you look more into Feng Shui, you'll find out that as well as prosperity and abundance, love and romance, there is part of the bag where it's got 8 segments. There is fame, health, creativity, spiritual growth, helping people, and career. But we haven't really got time to be going through all of it. But one of the books I recommend, I know Andrew will be deeply shocked at this, but I have this book.
Feng Shui in the Garden. Okay.
Yeah, so it's called Feng Shui in the Garden, Simple Solutions for Creating Comforting, Life-Affirming Gardens for the Soul. And it's Nancilee Wydra, or Wydra, W-Y-D-R-A.
I will put a link down in the description on the YouTube version, as I always do.
Yeah, thanks, darling. I would have had her other book, which is called Feng Shui, the Book of Cures, but I've loaned it to someone and it's not come back in time. But that's what your bagua would look like for your garden, basically.
Okay.
So I've done prosperity and abundance, I've done healing, and I've got a love and romance part of my garden as well. And that was about it, Jack Cox.
Well, thank you very much, Annie Day. We couldn't have done it without you. This really was your evening tonight.
Oh, thank you, sweet thing.
It was your subject. I know very little about it, so I'm very, very happy and glad.
Well, it was. Thank you, Jack, for letting us do this. As I say, it was 3 of my patients that went, can you just show me how to declutter, because I'm not very good at it and I don't know where to start. And Wonderful and perfectly timed from Gillian. Oh, bless her.
Yeah,
Thank you, Gillian.
we're glad you came, Julian. Very glad that you came. And that you
Yeah,
got benefit
definitely.
from it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to ask a favour, Jack. So on the 18th of February, I'm running a course from Heaven Sent Bliss called Space Clearing for the Soul. I've been delivering this since 2006, but I've only delivered it probably 3 times here because we've had the scamdemic for 3 years, haven't we? So I haven't been able to do it. But on that course, I teach people how to do space clearing, to move attachments on, some crystals that are really useful, and loads of other stuff, how to call your angels and things like that. So it is Saturday the 18th of February. It's called Space Clearing for the Soul. It's got more details on my website, and it's 10 till 3, and it's £55. And you get a certificate saying that you're an amazing space clearer.
I'll put a link to that in the description as well on the YouTube.
Oh, you little angel, thank you. But yeah, one of my friends came today and said, why aren't you advertising any of your courses? I was like, oh, no. I think because for the last 3 years, they haven't gone ahead, have they? Because
no, we've come through 3. Well, we all know, don't we? We don't need to keep saying. We've come through 3 very, very, very silly years.
Absolutely. So it's time for us to shine.
While it lasts.
Yes, darling.
Or go silly again.
Oh, it wouldn't dare be silly again. Wouldn't dare be silly again, I'm sure. But thank you, Jack Cox, and for talking me through what I needed to do to the lovely Zoom that wouldn't allow me in this evening, and was saying had to be updated, and then I updated it and it said, anyway. So on my 3rd attempt of updating, when you said turn the computer off, turn it back up again, it did actually let me update it. So hopefully we won't have that shenanigans next week, Sweet Pea.
No, you'll be fine next week, I'm sure. It was just a one-off until the next time.
And I think me shouting obscenities at it wasn't really helping things.
Oh, I'm sure
that's very good for venting. It was very good for venting.
I'm sure that's what made it work in the end.
For sake, what are you doing? I need to be on now. What are you doing?
So what do you want to do next week? Do you want to do the unicorns that we didn't do last time?
We could do, or we did talk, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago about quantum jumping that Andrew suggested. And we said we might look at Wayne Dwyer and Lynn McTaggart, The Field, and who else did you say? Joe Dispenza?
I think Andrew's going to have to come on and lead that one.
Do you?
Yeah, definitely a job for Andrew, that one. It's going to take a lot of research, and I haven't really been getting into it because I've had other things on.
No, that's fine. I was just giving you a choice. I like to give Jack a choice.
So let's do the unicorns and dragons in mythology.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay.
And maybe we'll do the quantum jumping the week after.
Yeah. Or you could do it while I'm in sunny Dubai with my lovely family. I'm very excited. 21st of March, and they've already made a chuff chart for my 6-year-old grandson and my son. So I'm actually going out on the 21st of March and coming back on the 4th of April. And we're all very excited.
Well,
I think me more than Wilson.
Very excited for you, Annie. You have a wonderful time over there with your family.
Oh, it's been a long 3 years, hasn't it? But you know what? I'm just really grateful that it's possible now. Yeah. And I get 2 weeks where Richard's not working at uni and Wilson's off school. So I'll just have a lovely, lovely time. And I've already promised that they're going to force me to go on a beach. I don't know how much forcing that will take, actually.
Not a lot knowing you. Right.
Oh, this is from Gillian. You need this. Yes. Oh, my God. I was talking about. Oops. It's gone. Oops. Wonderful and perfect. Oh, no, we've read that. Yes. Oh, my God. I was talking about Wayne today. Astral projection. Today, I identify as a unicorn. Blessings. Stay sane in all the madness.
Right. Well, quick message to all those of you watching later on YouTube. Please do like, subscribe, and share, because it helps us reach more people.
Yeah, I think you said we've got 400 people, haven't we?
408. 408 as of this morning.
Yay!
So it is growing. It is growing. We've got to get it up.
Oh, well done, Jack.
The aim is to get it up to 1,000 by the end of February.
Okay.
Oh, stop laughing.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm tittering. You remember, what was his name? Frankie Howard. Oh, I'm just tittering. No, obviously,
No.
you don't remember it. You don't remember it.
It's cruel to mock the afflicted.
And I found out something yesterday. So I've got a friend, and when something really tragic has happened, to raise the vibration, he goes, "Oh dear, what a pity, never mind." In this very haughty, posh voice. And although it's very inappropriate and it lacks compassion, it always makes me laugh.
Well,
He
you know
goes,
where
"Oh
that comes from.
Oh dear, what a pity, never mind." I do now. My friend Googled it, and it comes from Dad's Army.
No.
Yeah, it does.
No, it comes from it ain't half hot mum.
Oh, well, he Googled it and it came up with a little video clip, and he went, "Oh dear, what a pity, never mind." And it was from Dad's Army.
It was the
Maybe that was the, what do you call it, the forerunner?
no, the one that came from Dad's Army was
No, this definitely
the ones
says
that came
there's
from Dad's
definitely a
Army
video clip.
were all doomed.
Oh, well, it said that, "Oh dear, what a pity, never mind," came from Dad's Army, and then it was this little video clip.
No, it ain't half hot mum. Anyway,
Okay,
let's have a poll on it. Let's have a poll on it. Everybody watching.
well, I'll ask Dave Potter to
Put a
comment
comment below on YouTube and let us know which show you think that saying came from.
Okay, fair enough. But I was very pleased that I knew where the lovely Nils Warburg had stolen it from. Because actually, it does make me laugh every time he does it. He goes, "Oh dear, what a pity, never mind."
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh.
Thank you very much to Annie for her help, for her
And
carrying the show this week. Thank you very much to Gillian and Andrew for coming on. And you haven't said very much, Andrew. Did you want to say anything before we close? Andrew?
Dad's Army and It Ain't Half Hot Mum were written by the same script writers.
No, well, there you go.
So they might have used it in both.
They might have used it in both.
Well, there you
There's
go.
the diplomat for you.
Well done.
As for quantum jumping, I just watched 2 or 3 videos about it. So I'm not an expert, or maybe I am. An X is a has-been and a spurt is a drip under pressure. So I could be one.
On that note, Andrew, but you can send me a link to those 3 shows, please.
Okay, thank you, Jack Cox. Thank you, Andrew. What's your name? Don't tell him, Pike.
I see somebody else had a misspent use. Jolly good.
Yes,
We weren't
absolutely.
the only ones.
So we're doing dragons and unicorns next week, Jack Cox.
Dragons and unicorns in mythology. It'd be great fun.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Namaste.
Namaste.
See you all next week.